Okay, Pep, I want to know what you're.
Yeah, just quickly. So,
wrong.
I don't know for sure. I mean, I just thought it was, as Kurt was
will
going
tell
through Matthew 18, I've always felt like the first step, when someone has offended you, like say when someone has sinned against you, like done something to you to cause trauma. I've always thought that there was like a step before going and talking to them of sort of self-examination. And is this something that I really need to process, like that I can just handle on my own and just let go of? Is it something that I don't really need to dig in with somebody about? Is that is that in line with the scripture and in line with what Yeah.
Yeah, I think it very much is. I think again, I routinely return to human development and family systems as a way to kind of reflect on this. You have kids, and kids will like do things that will like you want to.
Great point. Great example. Yeah.
And you get as we say, it's good to have a second parent in the house, so you talk to them so you don't kill your child.
Right.
It's it's always good.
Yeah, and it's a good thing they're cute, is what I always say.
Right. Exactly. Right. Yes. And I think what Jesus is getting at is that like we all develop a certain degree of resilience. I mean, this happens in all kinds of friendship, marriage, where somebody does something and it's like it's merely a flesh wound, right? And we can say, yeah, I understand, I know. I mean, Phyllis has had to put up with a lot with me, and there will be moments, I'm sure, when I do things and she's like, yeah, I can let that go because I know like it's going to happen again in another 6 weeks, and like I'm in for the long haul. And then there are times when you decide, no, I need to talk about this.
Yeah.
I think the fact that we are reflecting on it, the fact that we're not just automatically burying it or automatically just jumping down the other person's throat, the fact that we are pausing long enough to be curious about it, so that we can then work through that, so that we can then have a sense and discern, oh no, this has crossed the threshold. I need to talk to them about that.
Yeah, I do think that if you're talking about, especially like a marriage relationship, the danger can be if you just keep thinking, okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, I'm fine with that. And all of a sudden you start building up resentments, and it's like, wait a minute. Whoa.
Right.
Where'd that reaction just come from?
Right.
Yeah.
I think
Go.
No,
Well,
go.
One of my thoughts was, when do you decide what to let go? And like you said, Pep, if I'm letting it go because I'm anxious and don't want to deal with it, or if I'm minimizing it, but certainly we can't, like every minor rupture, you can't be like, well, we'll be here all day.
Right, and this gets back to this get back to the thing of like, again, it's not just the question of like, am I repairing every rupture? It's the question of what kind of a repairer am I becoming? Right, and so part of the repairing, part of the becoming a good repairer is growing in wisdom, in discerning. Oh, that's something I can let go legitimately because I am aware that what I'm doing, I'm processing that with somebody else maybe, or I've got enough resilience within me to like, yeah, I'm not going to talk about it because I'm okay, not because I'm bearing it. So I'm making a conscious decision to choose not to for reasons that are wise. Not because I'm avoiding it, not because it doesn't, it no longer matters to me.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. That clears that up.
Yeah.
I was right.
All along. I remember when you said there's something I thought I'd be doing wrong, I'm like, no, I think we're probably going to get to the bottom of this, and we're going to discover that like he's been right the whole time.
Yeah.
That's the story of our lives. So,
Yeah. Oh.
Another thing that struck me as you were talking, like I thought, are we talking about this work that we're doing enough? Because like with the couples, which was amazing, like that there were 6 other couples that came in and aided them in this. I thought, and see, you said we don't have a lot of models for this. We don't have, and I thought, are we talking about this enough? Because I mean, I don't hear about it. I don't think I talk about it. but it would be super helpful to know how it goes and how it is challenging and fearful and or scary.
Yeah.
To the question of are we talking about this enough, I would say I think we're doing 27 episodes of this on this subject now. So I think
we will be. I know.
I think the answer will be yes
Pep.
by the end.
I think it's,
Yeah, because every time
We'll
Kirk
be
decides he has a
celebrating
subject, he
our
divides
5
it into 6 parts. So today is part 6 of how to not look at someone sideways when you're trying to repair a rupture.
Yes, so we will be
Yes.
talking about it enough.
Yeah.
We're
So
gonna
by the
fix
end
that.
of this season, we will have talked about it plenty.
By the end of this season, in 2029,
You know, I will. This is obviously a joke, but you could have a
I'm not
podcast
sure how
called
obvious
"Rupture and
it'll be.
Repair," and
Yeah.
it could just go
For
on
sure.
and on and on and on,
Yeah.
because it is a subject that's
Yeah.
important and is vast and complex.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm considering.
Oh, rude. Okay, one more thing that struck me. When, the idea, it didn't start with you, didn't start with me. The idea of repairing ruptures when someone is like historical, like years ago, like from childhood, I imagine that work is imperative. Yeah, so we really could do a podcast on ruptures, the repairs. Because
Yeah,
it's a different kind of work.
Right, it is. I mean, I think again, as we're talking right here today, and Pep, you've talked about we could make just a whole podcast about
Right.
this. I think it is in many respects. I tell people when I go to speak someplace, I say, look, when you're done listening to me, you're not going to be a lot smarter because that's not my job. Because all the stuff that we're talking about, like it's just we're talking about all this stuff, and you can't just incorporate this and just now I know it and I own it and so forth. But because my job is not to make you smarter, my job is to inspire you to go home and do the work.
No.
And I think in many respects we're only beginning to scratch the surface here in this in this podcast series, and we're trying to get we want the scratch to be pretty deep enough. But we know that this may lead. We may get feedback from people like, "Could you please do more work on X, Y, or Z?" And we can choose to do that. We can do a breakout mini-series on the different ways of looking at people when you're repairing a rupture.
Yes.
But I just want to acknowledge that what we're really wanting to do here is to make sure, first of all, is our listeners to know. We want you to know that you're not by yourself in this. That by definition we live in a ruptured world. We live in this world. You will have tribulation. These are Jesus' words, John 16:33. In this world you will have ruptures, and then he says, "But be of good cheer. I want you to be repairers of the breach." And the very act of repairing is going to create its own set of ruptures because evil is not going to like this. And by ruptures, people are not going to receive what you have to offer. It's going to be hard. Yeah. It's going to be difficult. And it's not difficult because we're weak or stupid or not working hard enough at this. And so even in our not having enough time or enough episodes to answer all the questions or to hold all the stories of all the grief, we do want our listeners we want you all to know, you, the most beautiful listeners in the world, we want you to know that we're with you to the degree that we're able to be. And we feel you being with us, just like the three of us are with each other here.
Yep.
Right. Well said. Well said.
Speaking of swag, what did you say, C? I'm not here to make you smarter. I'm here to inspire you to go home and do the work.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun t-shirt.
Oh.
That's a lot of words. I mean...
Oh my gosh.
Come on. I mean, it wouldn't fit on a small.
Yep.
It wouldn't fit on a small. I'm telling you that right now.
Wait, what does your t-shirt say? What is that?
Yeah. Wait, stand still.
I just want to take a picture of it so I can then look at my camera and read the paragraph.
Right. Yeah.
There's no bad idea.
Well, we've established that there is. We've already established that it's a bad idea to say there are no bad ideas. All right, you guys. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Love you guys.
Love you.
That's good.
Yeah. Next time.
Good to be with some of you.